Namaskar, good evening, Sawadee Khap, and hello to all the wonderful and the brilliant delegates attending the FinTech and Communication class at Money Asia 2020. I want to express my gratitude to Money Asia 2020 for giving me the honor to address this Zoom session of the brilliant minds of our times. And we have a whole spectrum, right from conventional bankers to the folks in crypto to NFTs. I would also like to um, acknowledge and welcome this Zoom session going live to one of the good management schools, which is entirely funded by charity, one of its kind initiative. And if I switch into the Duolingo mode in the real sense, please forgive me. Yes, so the thing which I addressed in the morning today was something called as the real meaning of KYC. Yes, and I would like to, because my domain is primarily spiritual, which is not very different from what is material to what is modern. The the acronym, or whatever it is called, the abbreviation of KYC is equal to 6 in the Chaldean system of numerology. But that being said, the most important thing is right now you know only one variation of KYC, and that is know your customer. And if you really know that, that would be huge, because knowing your customer is 90% of your work done. Really, if the customer has initiated contact with you, you are doing something very, very right. So that is a huge plus in this chaotic world. But let me state very humbly is the way KYC is implemented in the subcontinent, and especially in our country, is really not it. And primarily that is because of wrong training and wrong explanation to the staff who is interacting with the customer. So it, something what is really off-putting, the essential meaning of KYC is know your customer. And the first layer of KYC is understanding the customer need, understanding the customer's preference, so that organization or a person can give a highly personalized service that is deeply satisfying. Sure. But unfortunately, the way it is implemented is it looks like a law verification or a police verification thing, that you have to do some signatures to be legally compliant. That is not KYC. In fact, most of you conventional bankers are in a problem is you have the privilege of a huge database of customers to cater to, especially in India. But the way you are implementing it is making you panic now, because as they say, the cat has been put amongst the pigeons. Yes, so unless and until you really up your game, that is not going to happen. So KYC means knowing your customer to provide a highly valuable and a personalized experience, something that is not practiced, something that is not lip service, something that is just not on paper. So know your customer can be as basic as knowing that what kind of a communication does a customer prefer, whether a customer prefers that a message is sent to him or her before a preordained or predetermined time for a call is done. That is also knowing your customer. Knowing when not to call is also knowing your customer, a part of it. uh, yes, no, depending on your product and service, uh, it is important to know what not to say, especially when the customer is with somebody, whether a family member or a friend or a colleague, or with in front of other customers. So that is what is knowing your customer. But knowing your customer, the first fundamental of customer is C. And what is important to know is knowing your communication. The more personalized, the more warm, the more professional your communication, the higher your success in business. The bedrock of business is communication. And as I have spoken on various other forums, whether it is the live humans of Gemstone Universe, or it is the forum like Money Asia, or last year at the World Economic Forum, the essence is communication. And I would like to reiterate and underline that uh, 93% of the communication is non-verbal. So how you yourself are feeling when you are communicating with the customer. Are you shaved? Are you fresh? Are you in a good frame of mind? Do you really know your product or services? Are the basic fundamentals? Because this non-verbal communication goes directly to the customer's heart. And subconsciously, people are able to make a choice. So, yes, no, especially for my the class that has joined in the Zoom. um, these are unprecedented times where you really are, wherever you are at currently in management school, you are heavily chasing your dreams. You have high you have high motivation that you are going to make big in business. Well, I wish you best of luck in that, but the bedrock of that is communication. And there is no bigger market, there is no bigger opportunity today than India, period. Right from the social media giants to media giants, everybody is really interested and after the Indian market because of the sheer numbers. But coming to communication, I will tell you that there is not one single yardstick. The one single yardstick about good communication is that you are genuine, you are friendly, you know your stuff. But then, if you know your customer, your communication has to be tweaked 100%. For example, India is so huge, but if you have only one kind of a communication policy, unless and until you are somebody like a social media giant with 1 billion users, you have to fight for your business. And you have to understand that even though India is one big country, the water changes over here at every 25 miles, and hence your communication. If you are putting the same communication to everybody, you will have but one destiny. That is, you know what. So I will give you an example. For example, if you see areas of, let me say, Bihar or Uttar Pradesh, the kind of communication till today is that uh, people call each other directly. They don't send a message or something, and they will call. If they need something, they will call. And if you don't pick up the call, they will wait for some time, and then they will call again in the evening just to check first whether you are okay or not. That is the kind of a communication. Now, if you are going to send that guy tak 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 tak, tak email, that's not going to work. Yes, but now you look at the communication in Mumbai. In Mumbai, which is the financial capital of India and has always been, Mumbai means business. Mumbai has no time to waste. And some other people who are coming from other parts of the India and going into the Mumbai for the first time, it might be a shock to them. But in Mumbai, time is money. The Mumbaikar knows that every single second counts, and he or she is responsible for his or her success. So you will see that Mumbai people are very, very abrupt, very, very straight, even to the point that you might feel, what has happened. This person does not have the basic courtesy, but that is the fight of life. That is the competition in life. Yes, so the Mumbai car has no time. If you have to sell to a Mumbai car, and if he or she has given you time, that is a big plus. But if you do hum ha, that's not going to work with the Mumbai car. But if you go to a place like Delhi, that is a hybrid model. So here the Delhi customer does not show that much sense of urgency, but for the Delhi customer, the first question is, what is it in it for me? And it is a rare balance that you pamper the customer, you catch a bread together, you catch a coffee together if you are interested, and that is the Delhi customer. So the communication has to be tweaked, and that is where the planet Mercury comes in. I have said that no, what is the legend level is, it is high, it is imperative. Whatever somebody sign or lagna, Mercury has to be really, really good, uh, and you need to leverage Mercury if you want to do well in business, because ultimately whatever your product or service, most of the communication at some point will touch digital. And I will tell you the issue over here. For example, today there is a messenger like WhatsApp. So there are people, for example, in small towns called as pansaris, who deal with a particular kind of rare spices and condiments. And how does business work out for them? Business works out for them is that they take the order on WhatsApp, they take a picture on WhatsApp, and they send it to WhatsApp on WhatsApp. So even though it is a highly what we can say is a specialized kind of business, still the communication is coming in. But what is the legend level is, I have said that Mercury is a planet that is remediable. So there is a way to make Mercury strong in your chart. The other thing that I have said that if you really know astrology is that Mercury will make a transit every month. Now that is a fast moving planet. There is no person on planet Earth who will not get 3 to 4 good transits, 3 to 4 average transits. That means more than 50% of the year you can really uh, play and get Mercury on your side. Now that is a very, very big tip. Email is outdated. I will tell you that when I started my website in the year 96, email was huge, because the customer profile that time was that the very few, The trailblazers, the risk takers actually had a computer and an internet. And it was, for a basic level, I'll tell you, it was prohibitively expensive and awfully slow. But communication was important to these people, and their email was communication was totally different. Yes, but today what has happened is, now everybody has got 2 or 3 emails. Most of the emails are used, people use emails for some mandatory KYC thing again, the OTP thing again, and everybody is desperate for an email ID. Even the giants such as a search engine, I think today 90% of the people will have a so-called Gmail ID, but that's going to be outdated pretty soon. But that is the difference between the customer. Today, everybody has an email ID, everybody gets spammed, everybody gets a free newsletter. That is not communication. But the 1996 to 2002 customer, if you still have that kind of a database, that might be a gold mine. But you can't communicate the same with today's customer, because today the chaos is huge. The chaos is huge because every single, what is we say, what is that, the doom scrolling. Thank you, Judith. I think now it looks better. Yes, that is a good communication, non-verbal communication to the Guruji to get his head straight. But um, you know everybody is into so much of bombardment of data, so much of confusion. The customer to confusion, the customer is mightily confused because of so many options and everybody trying to get the customer attention. So number one is, you have to understand the customer profile has dramatically changed. The customer wants speed, the customer wants security, the customer wants predictability, the customer prizes good communication. So definitely the first important thing is the communication. And the faster you will pivot from the point of first view of contact, let me tell you, your first point of customer contact, whether it is happening through your storefront, whether it is happening through your email, whether it's happening on a call, whether it is happening through any of the messengers app, the person who is responsible for handling the first point of contact has to be your best person. Period. That person has to be ever learning, suave, know their product and service, and represent your business in the best possible way. So Mercury is all about communication. 93% of the communication is non-verbal. So next time you come with a non-ironed shirt, without a makeup, unshaven, you should leave the business. You should do something else. But these are, I told you, the 21 Mercurian principles. So before knowing your customer, it is very important to know your communication. And in the 21 Mercurian principles, I have shared a lot. I've shared about discounts. I have shared about how to be very customer focused, how customers make a decision. All that information, if you fuse with the power of Mercury and then leverage it, then you have a chance to do well at entrepreneurship or business. But let me tell you is that no, I think this is the right forum, because the Mercury, there are 12 houses in your horoscope, and the Mercury has got 12 states, and all of them start with C, the 12C Mercury formula. So the first is know your customer. The second is know your communication. So the third thing is know your competition. Amongst the so much of confusion and chaos, how will the customer make a choice? How will the customer choose you? You are competing with online platforms. You are competing with people who may not be very very authentic but want to provide an instant gratification. How are you going to compete with that? That is something that you need to check. But first, know your communication, know your customer, and the third, I no, I will just give you an example of this. Know your competition. Now, 2 months back, there's a lovely couple. Um, one is a gentleman from Chennai in Tamil Nadu, and he has a wonderful wife uh, who is a Tamilian but born in Singapore. And due to circumstances, they have relocated over here in Thailand. And they wanted to do something called as a chai bar. And I met them at the AI conference, if you remember. And they sought me out, and I was very happy to speak with them because I could see the genuine spark. But what I told them was that number one is that the chai bar doesn't sound right. That is communication, because chai is a beverage which is like an all-rounder beverage. It is a beverage that is supposed to do put us first on alert. अ, हम लोग इंडिया में कहते हैं ना यार, चलो यार चाय पियो। अच्छा भी हो रहा होता है तो हम कहते हैं चाय पियो। स्ट्रेस में होते हैं तो हम कहते हैं चाय पी लो, तो चाय पी लो जी। तो आई सेड द बार इज नॉट ओके, बट देन दे said that please see this document, a pretty big file, and there were projections, there were competition data, there were cost benefit analysis. And then I told them that, listen, I have one question. Where do you propose to open your this chai bar or whatever it is? And then they said a particular mall and a particular floor where there is a food court. And I asked them, listen, is there any Indian food joint there? Now, even though this is not closely related, even though this is not an exact fit, it gives us some kind of a demographic that the customer might have similar taste. So all that demographic analysis doesn't work here. Here, what works is another C, common sense. So they said that yes, there is a Indian food restaurant, and then there is a fusion food, and then there is something which is exclusively South Indian. So I said that, listen, first you go and find out which is the busiest joint there, and next day I advise them, go early morning. Early morning, the time when they are about to take their first order, and go in and buy something. So that's what they did. So they went in and they purchased something, and on the token there is some number. So, and then I told them that in the evening when they are closing, you go and buy something else. So they had a real time data. So this is around they the counter was like 200 orders in a day. And then I asked them to show me their projections. I said, you have your answer, would you like to do business over here? Calculate the overhead and rent. And there we were. They were clearly They clearly said that no, it is not tenable. So what has happened is that meeting with the so-called venture capitalists, financial planners, business plan drawers, a lot of time has gone, and then I directed them to check the my post on the Yaziti, where I was the guest of honor, and in the first second, uh, since the bell rang, within the first minute, there were 413 orders. Um, Hats off to them. That is good business. But what is really happening was that they were able to service that business without panic, and that is why they are going to be a big success. So Mercury is remediable. Remember, at least 5 to 6 months, it will be favorable in transits. You have to make Mercury strong. Communication is prime importance. Customer is importance. But then, what are the 12 C's of Mercury? If you want to be legend level, if you want to enjoy your money, if you want your legacy to be remembered, if you want your customers to appreciate you, if you do not want the competition to defeat you, so you should know the 12 C's. And what are the 12 C's? The first is communication. I have already spoken about it. The customer, then the competition, then the commission, how much you can play with, then the class, what kind of a product you are selling. You, yes, you do not sell cannonball run to the customer who is looking for Godfather, and you don't sell Godfather to somebody who's looking for a cannonball run. That being said, having the wrong kind of people in you, they can totally miscommunicate your so-called class. So definitely, if you, the first point of contact is very important, and then you have to invest in their training. So wherever we have done communication, we have done the customer, we have done competition, we have done commission, we have done class, then we have to do customs, then we have to do charity. It is in this charity, I'm not talking about the spiritual significance, which is huge. In the charity bit will come your corporate social responsibility. Then will come cooperation and collaboration. Then will come competence, in which you are constantly upgrading your skills. Then will come circulation. Circulation of your product, circulation of your service, circulation of your good reputation, circulation of your great work. Then will come your civic responsibility, what you are doing for the country, for the nation, and for the taxman. That all these 12 will join together, and they will come together. You will have a big conglomerate. That all depends on now two things. Number one, is your business cybernated? What do I mean by cybernated? In simple words, which are computerized. From 2008, I've been saying automate, 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 and don't be a spot, single point of terminal failure. Those are the kind of people you don't want in your organization. You don't want the spot thing happening to you as a person. The thing, the big word, the big C word is complacency. Today is a time where you just can't take it easy. You have to be at it all the time. And that will only happen when you will have love and passion for your product. When you feel that, yes, this is something that works. We are not there just for the money bit of it. There's a difference between money and wealth. A great product, a great service, a great customer satisfaction will bring wealth. Wealth will come to you and you will stop chasing the money. So, cybernation and computerization is very, very important. That will boost your credibility. Yes, I thank you all very much. Um, very, very nice to meet all of you. And I really apologize that I really could not stay back in the morning. But whatever I saw was amazing. I mean, yes, I mean amazing, amazing to meet so many brilliant minds. And I would like to say to my Indian friends in Hindi, देखिए आप लोग इसको ट्रांसलेट कर लेना, जो करना है करो, लेकिन चक्कर ये है कि इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने का, ये केवल पढ़ के कोई एग्ज़ाम नहीं देना है ना। तो ये पीछे ये पीछे तो एक बहुत बड़ा आइकॉनिक होटल है, इसका नाम है लबुआ द स्टेट टावर। आप इसको गूगल करिए। मैं आई विल हैव टू टेक योर लीव एंड आई विश यू वेरी वेरी वेल, and I think from this group I am very very sure will come brilliant entrepreneurs and businessmen who will do business with credibility. God bless you. Om Namo Narayanaya and Salam. We wash the clothes, right? We wash the clothes. After we wash the clothes, we have to dry the clothes. So what is that? What is that thing we need to dry the cloth? Cloth line. Cloth line. Now, what has happened is, you saw me doing this movement, and this is a conditioned response. You said you need the clothesline to dry the clothes. You need the sunlight to dry the clothes, not the clothesline. You need the clothesline to hang the cloth. Number one.